This is the Roman theater of Sabratha. So the learning objective of my presentation. First, we'll talk about problems at World Cultural Heritage Sites. Then we'll see how we assessed all the threats and issues and the corrective measures we used and we will use also in the near future, because suppose I will go back there again in Libya in order to fulfill all the tasks that was given to me. I'm sure that all of you know about the Libyan Civil War. Now we're facing the 11th or 12th year of this devastating civil war. This situation in Libya, unfortunately, caused atrocities, infrastructure damages. This is one of the main problems in Libya. And for that reason, as you will see, European Union and other organizations such as UNDP, United Nations Development Program, are trying to help Libya. And of course, absence of governmental funding for cultural heritage sites, not only cultural heritage sites, but also for cultural heritage sites. The last, the sea, caused a huge security gap in all the cultural heritage sites in Libya. We're talking about museums, collection, archaeological sites, and of course, world cultural heritage sites. So this is a map of Libya, and with the red dot, you can see the 5 sites enlisted in the World Cultural Heritage Sites of UNESCO. This one here is Kyrenaika, an ancient Greek city-state. Here is Leptis Magna. Here is Sabratha. We will focus with my presentation. We'll see things about Sabratha. Here is the Gadames, and here is Akakus. 5 sites in the list of UNESCO World Cultural Heritage Site list of UNESCO. Kyrini, Leptis Magna, Sabratha, Gadames, and Akakus. Unfortunately, all this situation in Libya with the civil war has caused also major cases with illicit trafficking of cultural heritage objects. This is one example. Before some months, the Manhattan District Attorney repatriated this really beautiful veiled woman bust. It was looted, it was stolen from Kyrenaika and was returned back to Libya. In 2016, Swiss authorities have confiscated artifacts, probably from Kyrenaika again, and the Geneva prosecutor sent them back, repatriated to Libya. This is a marble statue head of Venus, probably, again from Kyrenaika. And unfortunately, in 2018, in Spain, 2 art dealers arrested and accused with linkage to ISIS. So it was a major case because we're talking about cultural heritage objects stolen, looted from Libya, transported to European ground, to Barcelona, and linked with ISIS actions in Libya. So the cultural heritage protection in Libya now, it's not the best. And for that reason, as I said, European Union, with also other organizations such as UN, they're trying to help Libyan authorities in order to gain know-how and to protect cultural heritage more effectively. So the EU started the EU Lead 2 and EU Lead 3 projects, special designed for Libya, and encompass all, included also the cultural heritage protection of Libya. In this frame, BNS Europe, one of the best consulting companies. It is a private Belgian consulting firm focusing on governance, justice, security. It also has an active role in Africa, if I'm right. BNS is the main organization, the main company that implement all the things that the European Union wants for Libya. So in this frame, I was hired by BNS, Business and Strategies Europe, in order to visit Libya, to see the problem, to assess the problem, and then to proceed to corrective measures. So the problem was lack of efficient safeguarding, because sometimes, because of all this situation, tourist police officers were not getting paid. So a lot of them, they were searching other things to do in order to feed their families. So a lot of cultural heritage sites had lack of efficient safeguarding. Then, because of this, a lot of fences in World Cultural Heritage sites, and more specifically in Sabratha, collapsed. So it was really easy for civilians or for criminals to enter a World Cultural Heritage site such as Sabratha and remove parts of the building. And when we're talking about threats, we're talking about vandalism of the site, extraction of cultural heritage objects, looting, etc. So that was the main problem for Sabratha, but also for the other World Cultural Heritage sites. But we're talking about Sabratha today. That were the main problem. Unfortunately, all 5 World Cultural Heritage sites of Libya has been placed on the UNESCO endangered site list for these problems that they're facing. UNESCO decided back in 2015, if I'm right, to place all these 5 World Cultural Heritage sites of Libya in the list of endangered sites. So the Libyan authorities, plus European Union, plus UN, wish to exit those sites from that list, because gradually they wish Libyan authorities to attract tourists and to start being a normal country. This is a snapshot, a screenshot from the UNESCO list of World Heritage Endangered. As you can see, the 5 World Cultural Heritage sites of Libya are inscribed in this list. So, how we deal with the problem? First of all, we found the funding. EU led to European Union. It's essential, because if you want to save a cultural heritage site, you need, first of all, money. So European Union was able to provide money for Libyan authorities through BNS Europe, the consulting company I mentioned before. Then we find out and we engaged the stakeholders responsible for the protection of cultural heritage in Libya, and Sabratha more specifically. We're talking about Department of Antiquities, the Tourist Police, and Ministry of Interior, 3 different stakeholders. We engage all the above stakeholders, including European Union through their representatives, in the preliminary project design. And we conducted extensive interviews to Department of Antiquities people, to tourist police officers, and Ministry of Interior, because we wish to know what exactly do they wish. For example, equipments. What kind of equipments? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then, where do you want to wish to place those equipments? For example, fire extinguishers. Here, there, and there. Which parts of the site need more attention in Sabratha? This one for that reason, and for that reason, and for other reason. And then finally, the number we wish to see how many officers, tourist police officers / archaeologists will be trained. So they say to us, we want 20 tourist police officers to be trained, all of them from the Sabratha tourist police station. So when we collect and gather all the information, we applied the ADI model. I know that those sound a little bit boring, but through this construction in our design for the protection of culture of Sabratha, we had the opportunity to design a very good training course and to assess the problem properly. So we use the ADI model. As I said, we analyze the situation. That's the first step in the ADI model ladder. Then we design the course based on our analysis. Then we develop the training courses, the learning experience to life by building our end product. We implement the training course, and then we evaluate the training course. That's essentially, if we wish to have long and to achieve long-term protective measures for a cultural heritage site, and not to be something that in 2 weeks the tourist police officers or police officers will forget about it. You need to use the ADI model. As I said, we trained 20 tourist police officers. All of them were served at the Sabratha police station, and 3 also archaeologists. So it was kind of a mixed training course, and we designed this mixed training course because we're talking about cultural heritage or cultural property protection. So it's a topic that archaeologists know better. But from the other hand, we need to train also tourist police officers who are dealing daily with the protection of cultural heritage. So we made this mixed group in order to force them to collaborate, to cooperate better in the near future. Because when we analyze the situation and we interview both sides, both parties, Department of Antiquities and tourist police, we see that some kind of problems in the cooperation practices were happening. So 10 days training course for 20 police officers from different shifts and 3 archaeologists.
Orfeas, sorry, just to keep the schedule, do you think you can wrap up in the next 3 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
So also, we walked 4 times the entire area, and we're talking about 4,000 square meter site, because we want to see every threat, every problem of the site. One time we walked this during night. We assess every potential threat, starting from easy access on the fence wall. So we inspected all the area and all the walls and the fences. And then we divided the area into smaller sites. Why we did this? Because we wanted to apply, we wanted to see potential threats related to either vandalism or looting, extracting of cultural heritage objects. So we divided the area in small parts, and we applied the Sotiriou and Aloupis Cultural Heritage Risk Assessment. It is a risk assessment based on 1,000 official arrest cases that I have developed with the help of Mr. Aloupis, who is a data analyst. It includes 6 variables with different values. We conducted extensive simulations and field exercise of this Sotiriou and Aloupis Cultural Heritage Risk Assessment. And tourist police officers, it was a fantastic job because they really liked that risk assessment. They understood it, and also they practiced in daily basis in these 10 days. And based on this cultural heritage risk assessment, we created a new Sabratha cultural heritage, sorry about this, not heritage risk assessment, because the Sotiriou and Aloupis Cultural Heritage Risk Assessment is a risk assessment for in general use, but we wish to create something unique for the needs of Sabratha. So we created the Sabratha Cultural Heritage Risk Assessment. And nowadays, as I have informed and I've seen, because I still keep a contact with the tourist police and culture in the Department of Antiquities know exactly how to protect their World Cultural Heritage site, Sabratha. They have filled all the gaps, and now we will proceed to other corrective measures. Thank you.